I understood at a certain point how useful I would have been if I had just capitulated and promoted the jabs, for example. I'm in this position. How old was I? 34, 35, 3 young children, mortgage to pay. It's taken me 15 years to get this job that I really can't afford to lose.
Yeah.
They've allowed me to have this freedom. I've suddenly built up this popularity, all these new fans, winning awards. And then the jabs come along towards the end of 2020, and this massive tonal shift of, okay, we're backing the government now. We're not going to keep banging on about how bad the lockdowns are. This is a great thing. And we want you to celebrate the fact that these injections have arrived. And at first I'm thinking, well, we're all still locked down though. So, I mean, it's still going on.
Yeah.
And I'm obviously really skeptical about the jabs. And as I pointed out to them, listen, everything they've done so far has been experimental, immoral, illogical, and really dangerous. Why should we assume these would not be the same?
Yeah.
We can't trust these people anymore. And also we don't need it. And, so all the kind of basic reasons.
Yeah.
And I also said, I'm a satirist. Now, I appreciate that I have been straying slightly outside of my lane in the sense that I'm doing these rather emotional things about family and that are not really political at all.
Yeah.
But certainly it's not part of my remit to promote medical procedures. That's a really weird thing. It's going to look really odd to have a cartoon. Why would you have a cartoon about people going and getting an injection for anything? But there was so much pressure, and I understood how useful I would have been to the agenda, if you want to call it that, if I had just in that moment gone, you know what, okay, I can sense that I'm putting my job at risk if I don't do this. I'll just churn out a few
the equivalent of that
cartoons.
Stephen Colbert vaccine dance. Did you ever see that?
Yes.
That kind of thing you could have done your equivalent.
That type of thing was what I was being pressured to draw almost every day at one point. And I wasn't going to do it. And partly what cemented it for me was my godmother died in the February. Was it? Yeah. Early in 2021, after the AstraZeneca jab.
Right, okay.
She was my mother's best friend, and I just thought, there's no way that I'm going to promote this stuff.
Is that one of the reasons why your family have been on... You haven't had conflict with your family, have you?
Well, I've got 2 brothers, and my mum and dad, we were all basically in agreement from the beginning. I was very lucky in that sense.
Yeah, that's unusual, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'd have conversations with my brothers early on, most evenings, about why it was all so mad and wrong, and that was really helpful for me. So, no, we were all, we were never going to get injected. I mean, part of the thing initially with the injections was I had decided quite early on that I will not participate in this in any way. I won't do anything to help this thing along. From a kind of, if you like, a spiritual point of view, I didn't want to look back and think, oh, I complied with any of it. Anyway, I was... Oh yeah, the controlled opposition thing. I think I just understood at that point that had I agreed to do a few pro-jab cartoons, there wouldn't really have been any way back from that. I could have no longer carried on criticising stuff or trying to be a voice of reason or morality after that point. Yeah. And basically I would then have been controlled opposition in that sense without ever being explicitly told.
Without getting the financial benefits.
No, exactly. Or without actually being instructed beyond the way a cartoonist is steered by an editor to, why don't you do something on this? So I do understand that now. I do appreciate how I would have been a useful tool for the state had I done that. And of course, again, all my colleagues at other papers were doing exactly those pro-jab cartoons or attacking people who were against them. And I even ended up in a Guardian cartoon at one point.
Oh, okay.
Along with other, supposedly dangerous characters.
Who else was in it?
There was Toby Young and
Really?
Jonathan Sumption.
Okay.
Who else was there? I can't remember now. I was very small.
Yeah.
I wasn't really supposed to be noticed, but I did spot
They
myself.
know how to target certain kind of class, cultural. They know what appeals to certain people, and they know how to shame people, I think, as well into compliance, don't they? That sort of so and so believes this, therefore you would be an absolute tool to do this, and the public shaming and everything. So
you don't want to associate yourself with this person.
Yeah.
And I was starting to get these sort of subtle threats, I suppose, where I was being told things like, listen, you've done so much great work on lockdowns.
Yeah.
And you built up this big audience. It would be a real shame if you threw it all away by being labelled an anti-vaxxer.
Yeah.
That's what they said to me. And I started to think, right, okay, so that sounds like a threat. I'm also aware that being a pro-vaxxer is going to throw all of that away.
Yeah.
Everything I've done up till now won't really mean anything.
Yeah.